Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. Sorry for this little noise in the background here. It's just my printer just decided to make some noise. Let me just kind of switch that off there. I'm just back from tennis as usual. It's Friday, so look, I've got my little tennis shirt here, and I've got my fan on. So sorry if you can hear a bit of fan action. I've got the fan behind me, fan next to me. It's getting very warm here in the summer. In the UK, there is, I think we're in for another heat wave, but this one won't be as crazy as the one coming next. So I'll just keep this on just to keep myself cool for now, and then I might switch it off later. All right, so folks, as I am speaking to you, it is in the UK. It is now the 4th of July. So I would say happy 4th of July for everyone who is interested in it and celebrates it and stuff like that. I say that happy, of course, in inverted commas, because, well, we've got all sorts kind of like going on. And today, as you guys would have seen in the thumbnail, a certain someone, which is obviously now this is still the 3rd of July in America. I don't know if the orange one, if Duck L'Orange has gone to Mount Rushmore yet, but I was seeing this stuff. And of course, well, it's just funny how it's fallen on this Friday here for me. And let's discuss it. So we need to discuss, of course, the United States, and we need to discuss Duck L'Orange. And as you guys have seen, do you remember how I've been saying, I said, look, guys, and one of you actually mentioned it actually in the questions. In fact, one of you said here, is this Barbara? I think it's Barbara. She says, hi, Hogarth. Just saw that a bit long here, but I just saw a video on Facebook from a Democrat who's speaking out on how Dumpy has laundered money for the big 250 celebration and also racketeering. So here we're now in that stage where the corruption is now naked, isn't it? It's naked corruption. And as you guys remember me saying, I said, look, America is in the Rahu Dasha, and America is now in the Rahu Ketu. And do you remember I said the car would go off the road, and it's just going to be absolutely batshit from here and in until this Dasha particular part is over. Look at what has been happening since. And anyway, so 250 celebration, also racketeering. The Republican congressmen know about this, and still nothing is being done. Why? Because they are corrupt, and they are part of the racketeering, and they are benefiting from the insider trading. That's why, basically. I was such a proud citizen back in 1976 to celebrate our 100th birthday. I don't even want to celebrate our 250th. It would be I don't even want to celebrate our 250th. Should be such a joyful birthday. I often think of my family members who fought in World War II. As much as I miss them, I'm glad that they're not alive to see this. Back in 2020, well, they can still see it. Actually, it's just they're seeing it from the other side. They're probably shaking their heads in absolute, like, oh, Anyway, back in 2024, you said America's downfall would start in March 29th, 2025. I actually wrote it down on my whiteboard, and I've seen the downfall every day since. There is no question here, just venting again. Thanks for everything you do for us. And I can count on you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to bring us some cheer. Oh, thanks so much. Well, look, we are in extraordinary astrological times. Let me slurp some more of my drink here. Oh, I'm gasping. It's a sugar-free drink, but it's with lots of ice in it just to get my core temperature down. We live in extraordinary times, folks. Yeah, extraordinary times. You've heard me yabbering on about Balbert's basket, and every other astrologer worth their salt has been talking about it. Some are saying the last time we saw this was 6,000 years ago. Some people say it has never happened before. They've looked back even 20,000 years and they can't find anything like this. So humanity stands on the cusp of extraordinary transformation. As you guys would have known, I said the corporate world is trying to use the basket, and they're trying to use Uranus and Taurus to seal our fate and get all the technology and stuff on their side, get rid of everyone's jobs. and pardon me, and just have us be serfs and what have you. But we as humanity, we're going back to what? Family, security. We can use the energy of Neptune as well to what? Dissolve the boundaries and fully embrace our spirituality and evolve to the next level. That's the big fight that's happening now. Let me just get the illustration here again. Sorry, a bit of glare. Here, Balbert's basket. That this happens, completes on the 19th, or it manifests, shall we say, fully on the 19th. Yeah, 19th of July, 2026 at 11:48 Washington DC time. Yeah, Jupiter comes in and basically gets that basket going. Here's Pluto. This is the oligarchs in opposition to us. Yeah, Capricorn, sign of corporations. Yeah, Pluto is what? Corruption, oligarchy, all of that stuff. Jupiter is here representing Jiva, yeah, the life force in sidereal Cancer, which is what? Family, yeah, family, our sense of security. Trine, Neptune, wanting to use the higher forces of spirituality. Here, Pluto is trine Uranus in sidereal Taurus, yeah, material, money, technology. So this is what? ChatGPT, AI, crypto, all of that stuff, trying to what? Seal our fate in. They want this basket for themselves, but we're here opposing. So more and more people are watching what? More channels like this, spiritual channels. They're switching off from the news. They're creating communities. They're starting to grow their own food and all of this stuff. This is how we defeat them. Yeah. So obviously we need to talk a bit about Duck L'Orange today, but I just want to give everyone the context in which this 250 years of America's birthday is happening. This is also the Pluto return. This is also the time of the French Revolution. Yeah. America is also going through Sadi Sati, and that is when Saturn is one sign from the moon, with the moon and one sign after. It's currently one sign after, but it's known as 7 years of trials. So it's almost like these 7 years of trials. America is also in the Rahu Dasha, which is a crazy Dasha, and the Rahu Ketu is the craziest of all. So we're really in the kuni of the crucible of everything. Yeah. And then what happens on the 17th of October? Jupiter becomes Gandanta for what? 17 weeks, just before the midterms. And today we have Uranus and Mars together, exactly together, around about 9-10 degrees of sidereal Taurus. And this is all happening in Trump's 10th house. Yeah. So what I've asked today, yeah, what I've asked today, where are my notes? There we are. You can see I've photocopied some. So I'm going to give a shout out here. I'm going to give a shout out. Oh, gosh. Where's her name? Margaret, I think it is. Did I not put it down here? I'm sure. Margaret, you know who you are. Oh my God, I put the notes down here and I cannot see. I wrote here, Margaret. I'm sure I said Margaret. Let me just check. Sorry, let me just check my clients. I can just take a look. Yeah, Margaret, you know who you are. We had this. I saw her yesterday. She gave me a fascinating statistic, which I'm going to share with you right now. All right, let's do share screen and then we'll get into some of your questions. Share screen. Look at this. So I don't know what the political affiliation of ABC News is, but anyway, here we go. Look at this. The eerie coincidence how 3 US presidents died on Independence Day. Now, I don't want to give you guys false hope, yeah? But I'm just saying. And this is by Kevin Courtois and Toya McClary. So this was August 18th, 2025. So, you know, long before. Anyways, so if we look here, Washington, Amazing America TV. While the 4th of July is widely celebrated as the day United States declared its independence, it also holds a somber significance in American history. This date marks the deaths of 3 US presidents, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and James Monroe. Amazing Americans, Kevin Courtois uncovers the hidden story behind these coincidental deaths. Yeah. So, and then look, Jefferson and Adams, both founding fathers and signers of the Declaration of Independence, died on July 4th, 1826, exactly 50 years after the historic document was adopted. James Monroe, the fifth president, passed away on July 4th, 1831. Yeah. So just a saying. Let me just do a stop share. Now, why am I mentioning that? First of all, exactly 1 second here. 3 great US presidents. We don't want Trump to die tomorrow. July 5th is okay. Someone's saying here, please be sure to click the like button. Yes, please do. So why am I mentioning this? First of all, I didn't know this. I was chatting with Margaret. Margaret is she's a very intelligent lady. I said she should write a Substack under a pseudonym. But anyway, I'm getting too carried away. The point is this. She brought this to my attention. Now, something unique is happening right now, yeah, which is that Uranus, yeah. So what did I put here? I think I wrote in the chat. So Uranus is the planet of what? Sudden shocks and surprises, unexpected events, usurpation. It can be very, very unpredictable. Also deals with earthquakes and stuff like that. Mars, yeah, what is Mars? Mars deals with firearms. Yeah, Mars deals with crashes, aneurysms, heart attacks, you know, things like that. Acts of violence, unfortunately. So when you put Mars together with Uranus, so Mars could be random acts of violence or, like I said, strokes, aneurysms, and then you've got that with Uranus, sudden shocks and surprises, but also earthquakes. I mean, would it be the case that Trump will be standing at Mount Rushmore? He's there making his proclamation, and then there's a massive landslide or something. And look, I'm getting carried away. The whole point of what I'm saying is that this is extraordinary energy to have happening on July 4th. Let me just have it on the gentle setting there. Now, of course, we can't induce these things. We can't necessarily even call for these things. It will happen when it has to happen. But I'm just wanting you guys to know this is extraordinary energy at the moment with the astrology, everything that's going on. Right, let's get some of your questions in. So we also read Barbara. And then Manuela Orchid says, thank you, Hergy, for reading on the UK's upcoming economy and future. Like you said on Wednesday, it would be better today. I hope the weekend goes easy without violence. With all this heavy astrology, much love, Manuela. Yeah, there's a lot of energy, isn't there? Ehome says, taking a break from 45, going to skip this one. Whenever it will happen in divine order. By the way, Mount Rushmore is sensational, but the Crazy Horse Memorial is even better. It is on sacred land of the Oglala Lakota in the Black Hills. Now thanks for letting me know that, because when Margaret and I were chatting in our consultation, we were trying to she was trying to remember who the land was sacred to. So there we are, the Oglala Lakota in the Black Hills. They think Mount Rushmore is a desecration, you know, by the way. Anyway, and then Angeli says, happy Friday, everyone. Just wanted to watch Jack Smith being interviewed by Nicole Wallace. It seems he's finally speaking truth to power, regardless of the consequences for him. His words were powerful. So what might Jack Smith's future role be in a new administration? Could he possibly be the next Attorney General? Please look at Jack Smith's future role in the rebuilding of the US. Thank you. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. I mean, these people, I mean, this current lot, Duck L'Orange, diabolically corrupt. Yeah, and that's why I say Trumpocalypse. This is Trumpocalypse. It's bonkers. It's absolutely crazy. He was on camera today basically saying, oh yeah, whenever my children, if they want to buy a truck, they want to buy a truck, they want to buy this, what they want to buy that, or make an investment, you know, basically they've got insider information. Yeah. I think there's laws against that. Didn't a certain, what's their face, the TV cook, what's her name? Bit of a darling of the kitchen. Didn't she get done for insider trading? She spent years in jail for that. Martha Stewart, yeah? She taught everyone to cook while she was there. They must have been really sad when she left. They must have been like, oh my God, we won't have those muffins anymore. But she got done for that. And here we have the so-called commander-in-chief just nakedly just admitting, it's just... Anyway, Jack Smith. Let's see what's going on. Jack Smith. One of the things I was thinking, like, oh God, at Mount Rushmore, will we have another assassination attempt as well? You know, because Uranus with Mars can actually mean those kind of things. But for me, look, I've reached the stage now because there's been so much ridiculousness. I'm just like, I'll believe it when someone succeeds. Yeah, that's when I'll believe it, and I'm sure you guys probably feel the same. All right, Jack Smith. Jack Smith. What's going on with him? Speaking truth to power. Of course, if the whole thing wasn't freaking delayed, yeah, and that Merrick Garland and all that stuff, I got cussed out at the time, but I called his card from ages ago. I said, nah. I said he's not going to do the job. He's in there with them, and I said a younger person will come and replace him. I still remember that reading because I got the Fool card as the outcome, and voila, it all happened. Oh, let me get, sorry, I've got to get the old camera on, haven't I? Let's do this to stage. There we go. This is interesting. All right. All right. Moon card. Yeah. Jack Smith has had to deal with a lot. Let's do a bit more zoom in. I think that's a little bit better, isn't it? Jack Smith has had to deal with a lot. There is a lot. For him to speak up like this, there's a lot that's happened behind the scenes. Yeah, a lot. Many machinations. He's probably had to get private security, all of this kind of stuff for him to even be able to speak. Yeah, at this level, I'm sure he's had to do a lot of work. Also, as well, this shows that all of that is lurking around him and behind him. There are obviously a lot of people that want to see him gone. Here you have the loyal, dutiful dog, and here you have the carnal wolf. And the challenge of this card is to walk between the pillars of truth. And you see the lobster coming out here, which for me can represent the id, yeah, the dark subconscious. In my thingamajig deck, you know, the oh, what is it? Oh, I can't even find it now. In my other deck, you know, the other deck I normally use, but the Art Deco, Art Nouveau, that's it. The lobster is coming out towards the wolf. This seems to be coming more towards the dog. But the whole point is that there's a lot of things that he's had to deal with behind the scenes. If you look at this, the next card that comes out, this is the 8 of Swords. So he's feeling a bit trapped, yeah, feeling a bit like a hostage to fortune. He's probably wishing that he spoke out more vociferously sooner. But also as well, the bonds here are loose. The person can get out of this. But I think this is how he's felt hemmed in, stymied, delayed. Yeah. If we look here, he's got the 8 of Pentacles that's come out. So another 8 card. But you see, this is the card of working hard, you know, working towards a goal. Education. I think he's been working very hard on his life behind the scenes, getting all of his ducks in a row, making sure that when he does make these statements to the public that he's going to be okay, that his family are going to be okay. I think this is also the case that he's built, and I think he has a case ready and waiting, yeah, for the time when potentially, you know, if the Democrats, you know, win Senate and blah, 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 you know, impeachment and all of this kind of stuff. We look here, he's got the Page of Wands. Now, pages are all about messaging, and the Page of Wands in particular is about the orator. It's about speaking, yeah? So he's doing what? He's been speaking up, speaking out, doing interviews. He wants to share his side of the story now. And then the outcome card for him here, if you see here, look, it's the King of Wands. So this is the card that deals with business, yeah, negotiations in many ways, but it's also passion. This is also the man that has been through the fires. You see here, you've got the lions here, but you also have the salamander here. So I think this is him becoming, he's now the page, and then I think he'll become the king. So if what I would predict is if the Democrats, assuming they win the midterms and all that stuff, like I said, it's probably going to be too big to rig. But if the Democrats win, then there is a good chance that he will be kind of elevated or promoted or something like that. Yeah, I don't think he'll be attorney general until the actual Trump regime is really gone. Yeah, because obviously, but I think he'll be significant. Yeah, so I hope that's answered your question there. Money says, will the enemies from within show up? Will King Zoran and his circus make a scene on Saturday? if you really think Zoran is a problem, you should see what Peter Thiel is up to. I don't think that's a particularly serious question. No, Zoran's doing a lot for New York. And my New York clients are very happy with him, And at least we're getting someone of emotional intelligence and stuff like that. But, you know, if you can throw shade at Zoran, then that's probably a bit of misdirected anger there. You need to look at what Peter Thiel is doing. Oh, my God. You want to see some shade and some darkness? Look there. One needs look no further. All right. So let's take a look. Yeah. Now let me. What I'm going to do is let me just get. Let's just get Trump's chart up. I know you guys have seen it a lot, but let's do share screen. So I've been told when I share the entire screen, you can see me. So I'm just gonna go with it. Yeah. And let's click here. All right. So Dr. Larange's chart. Hopefully you can see the red cursor. As you can see here, he was born 14th of June, 1946, 10:54 a.m. Jamaica Hospital, New York. Yeah. His sun sign is actually technically Taurus. Yeah. I would say it's a blended sun though. Yeah. It's not quite Gemini, but it's on the Taurus side. You think, what is the shadow of Taurus? Yeah, the shadow of Taurus can be what? Excessive materialism and greed. Yeah, but if we look here, he's got his Rahu here, gobble gobble. Rahu likes to be in Taurus because he can get a lot of his needs met. Rahu also has a lot to do with politics, and here it is with Uranus. Yeah, in the 10th house, Uranus is what? Unconventional things, sudden shocks and surprises. It's happening in all of this combination is happening in Trump's 10th house, yeah, of career, name and fame. He's been one of the most unusual, eccentric and strangest and most corrupt presidents, of course, America has ever seen, even in the world. I think basically the Trump regime and family make banana republics blush at how brazen this is. I mean, at least they've got a little bit more discretion. In certain countries, here it's just said on TV. Oh, anyway, the point is, if we look down here where it says TR, this means transits. Yeah, this is where the planets are right now. So you can see here, Pluto is 10 degrees 35 minutes retrograde. Yeah, in sidereal Capricorn, which is America's second house. Yeah, of values, money, resources. Yeah, and it's also there with K2, snip, snip in the original chart. But this is where it is by transit. America is now 250 years old. Here at the moment, we see the moon is in sidereal Aquarius. And that is actually the original placement of the moon in America's chart, around about 7 degrees. Here we've got Rahu at 6 degrees, 27 minutes. The nodes of the moon are going to change sign very soon. Yeah, end of November in Vedic. Here you see Saturn and Neptune. That's all the illusions and delusions being destroyed. This is all happening in America's 4th house of what? Homeland, real estate, sense of security, comfort. Yeah, what's everyone talking about? The cost of living. No one can afford rent. No one can afford food. No one can afford gas. Yeah. 4th house is known in Vedic astrology as the seat of power, Saturn is reality checks. Neptune is illusions and delusions, yeah, they get destroyed, but it can also deal with spirituality as well. So we're actually all being called to go within. I think everyone can sense and can feel the energy that everything's changing, even the people that aren't spiritual and watch this kind of stuff, yeah. But if we look over here, oh, and actually look, this is like a Mercury return as well for the USA, because Mercury's in the sign of Cancer in the 8th house in the USA chart. Jupiter is here, and here is Venus at 29 degrees 21 minutes, currently in the Gandanta point. Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, basically, they are benefics, and they are diluting Trump's Harsha Vipreet Raja Yoga, yeah? Anyway, if we look here, the important thing is to understand is that the Mars, and you see here, look, Mars is at 9 degrees 27 minutes. Uranus is at 9 degrees 37 minutes. They're exactly on top of each other as we speak. Yeah. So the energy of shocks and surprises is coming together with firearm, planet of firearms, you know, aneurysms, all of this kind of stuff. Something will be significant. I mean, maybe the energy gets used in the fireworks display. Yeah, that would be actually a good way to vent that energy. Yeah, would be fireworks displays, because Mars is a planet of fire, yeah, and Uranus deals with things in the sky, so of course fireworks display could help that. But it's going to be very interesting. So I would say, look, with July 4th celebrations, do your celebrations, but maybe just don't go to the big crowded stuff. And I think less people are probably going to arrive anyway, so there's the energy there. But the whole thing is, Trump is under a lot of pressure. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Let me just make sure that 1 second that, yes, that was all there. Sometimes I worry that that we can't see everything. Anyway, the important thing to understand is look at K2. Yeah, K2 is at 6 degrees 27 minutes. Yeah. So it's actually on Trump's ascendant right now. And you guys remember me saying that it's going to be difficult for Trump. Yeah, difficult for Trump, because snip is going across the ascendant. It's getting very close to that Mars. And very often when K2 goes across the ascendant for a president or sometimes a public figure, sometimes their popularity goes down. Yeah, sometimes their popularity goes down. The ascendant is also the health. Yeah. He's got all of these, all of these different doctors and assistants and this and that, his hands, all the drips and all of the various, they're probably inventing medicines, yeah, to keep this guy alive now. So there's a lot going on. Let me just see here. Let me just share a little bit here from, is it Midas Touch? I'm going to share a little bit here from Midas Touch. Oh gosh, what am I doing here? Oh, 1 minute. Let's just do, let's do share screen. Let's make sure audio is on. Here we are. So remember this K2, snip. Listen to this. All right, let's just rewind it a bit. There might be an advert. Let's see what happens.
Donald Trump is panicking as the state fair in Washington, D.C. has officially been shut down. Let me repeat, the state fair is closed, and there have been a ton of medical emergencies right now in Washington, D.C., in and around the state fair because of the massive heat wave, and everybody has been warned.
Mars, planet of what? Heat. Together with Uranus, sudden shocks and surprises. The state fair's been cancelled. Health incidences. Do you remember I said aneurysms, strokes, heart attacks, accidents, all that? Wow, look at this.
Warning about, but that the Trump regime is ignoring. What we are hearing is that there have been multiple people who have passed out, who were sent to the hospital. The Trump regime did not have sufficient medical stations. There were no misting stations. There was insufficient water. The booths by the so-called Great American State Fair didn't have AC. This became a massive health hazard, and we are hearing there have been a lot of people going to the hospital, a lot of people people who have been seriously suffering from health conditions. Bill Mulligan over at Fox posted the following message. The National Mall is closing and the Great American State Fair is postponed until 5 p.m. for what we believe are heat-related reasons. Everyone is being asked to go to the exits. It is miserably hot and humid today. Genuinely feels like a sauna when you step outside. Yeah, according to meteorologists, Washington, D.C. right now is hotter than 99% of the rest of the world right now. Only a few places like in sub-Saharan Africa and a few locations in China are actually hotter than Washington, D.C.
What?
Here's the sign right here. Andrew Leadon posted this. The Great American State Fair is closed due to heat. Everyone must exit until 5 p.m., but I think it's going to be much longer than that. You have Julian Andrian over at Dropsite. Shout out to the guys at Dropsite, the people at Dropsite. They do great work. Here's what he just posted. Great American State Fair postponed because multiple attendees passed out due to heat stroke. I was there filming a Dropsite news vlog, and I personally witnessed 3 people pass out. The number is likely higher than 7 total.
Wow.
Take a look at this interview that Julian did with a staff member who was there at the so-called Great American State Fair. Folks, there is an emergency going down right now. State regime media is covering it up. Corporate news is covering it up. Julian's got the scoop here. Play this clip.
Okay, all right, let's stop it there because the advert just kicked in. Right, so... I mean, it just proves my point, doesn't it? Sudden shocks and surprises. Mars is a planet of heat. Yeah, fiery planet heat. I said what? Strokes, aneurysms, all of that kind of stuff. So we can see it's been cancelled. And wasn't there some set falling down and all of that kind of stuff? Oh God, it's just a sad, sorry state of affairs, isn't it? What a pile of BS. Someone said here, Kimberly says, we all know what happened to Sid and Redder's pumpkin coach at 12:01. Won't squabble over a short way. Oh, wow. That's strange. Cindy Catman said Jefferson and Adams died within hours of each other. How strange. Snidlet says, I've been thinking about that too. That a few president died on July 4th. He's not worthy of the 4th. I hope it's the 5th, someone says. And then someone said, G Green said he's stoked with too many drugs to die tomorrow. He practically embalmed at this point, but still talks regardless. You're right. He is virtually embalmed. Someone says Kimberly is saying Trump and McConnell. Oh, McConnell, they've barely been speaking about him. I'm sure he's probably at death's door as well. And then someone says, Carly says, what's going on with Mitch McConnell? He was found unresponsive. Oh, was he? Well, we did the reading on Mitch McConnell. Was it last week? Not this Friday, not this Wednesday show, but the Wednesday show before. Did you see what happened? How we all got the death card, and even the Shakespeare page was someone standing there with a grave. Let's just see if I can just track down a bit more of this story. Let's see here. Mitch. Let's do Mitch McConnell. Let's just put here health. So if we just to bring you guys in, so you can just see some of the headlines here. Share screen. So if we look here, top stories. Mitch McConnell continues recovery in hospital, spokesperson says. Mitch McConnell has been hospitalized for weeks. What we know about his health, something is going on with Mitch McConnell's health. Paramedics responded to a cardiac arrest at Mitch McConnell's home. Oh, this is saying 1 day ago. Oh, look at this. Mitch McConnell's health scare was far more serious than first revealed. Well, you should have seen the cards we pulled for him last week. He was being stalked by death everywhere. Let's see what's saying. What's this here? What's this? Oh, crikey, 1 minute. Continue. Paramedics responded to a cardiac arrest at Mitch McConnell's home on day of hospitalization. McConnell's offices said he was still at the hospital, hasn't disclosed. He was admitted on June 14th. Interesting. Senator McConnell appreciates the outpouring of support he's receiving while he continues recovery in hospital. All right. So it seems like he's still there, folks. Let's just pull some cards on him, see what's going on with this. Oh, anyway, I'm not even going to say. I've got nothing nice to say about Mitch McConnell. All right, Mitch McConnell. What's going on? Oh, did you see? Okay. King of Cups, but reversed. Mitch McConnell, what's going on? Let's look at him. What's going on with Mitch? You're going to come out the hospital, Mitch? You're going to stay there. Will he come out the hospital? Or is this he run out of road? You know, it reaches a point where you just get so old that the drugs stop working. But, you know, I always say evil is a good preservative, though. Sadly, the good die young. Well. Oh, well, it's looking like here he might make a recovery. Yeah, might make a recovery. If we look here, we got Ace of Cups. Yeah, and this is the card of what? Happiness, abundance, all of this kind of stuff. We can also talk about the emotions. So he's certainly feeling quite emotional while he's in there. However, if we see, look, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here for him. So it means he's not quite in charge of his fate and destiny. So what I'm going to say is it's still touch and go for Mitch McConnell. We've got the Ace of Wands. Now, this could talk about fresh new start, fresh new beginning. But is that really the case for Mitch McConnell? I don't think there's many fresh new starts for him. We need to kind of maybe look a little bit deeper in this. I mean, I think those medical professionals around him were obviously trying their best to kind of give him some oomph. But look, here we've got this kind of the Eight of Cups, exiting stage left, yeah, walking away. Does it mean that he leaves Earth, or does it mean that he leaves politics, yeah? And then if we look here, we've got the Empress card, which is normally a card of abundance, fertility, fields of grain and all that stuff. Has to do with Venus here. His wife is probably working hard to try and kind of keep him alive, unless, of course, she's getting the insurance. I mean, but so what I'm seeing is that it could be that he maybe he gets dismissed from hospital, but he might have to leave some role behind. Yeah, might have to leave some role behind because he's probably been severely weakened. And each time you have a heart attack, the heart does get weaker. So, you know, again, I'm not wishing for anyone's whatever, but you know, I'm certainly not going to cry if the gods decide that he needs to exit stage left. But it's looking like he'll recover, but I doubt he'll continue to be a significant force in American politics. All right, let's see what else is going on. Someone's saying, Maureen's saying, I'm praying nothing bad happens tomorrow. We'll have to see. And then someone says here, Wildflower says, I'm totally feeling the energy today. Maybe Barry will make an appearance. Oh, I'm not sure if I understand that reference. Sorry. Who's Barry? Or do you mean Baron? There's something, I don't know. Let's see. Peck says, I hope the world forgives us for the felon and the havoc he's caused. Oh, well, we'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. Oh, Oxford Cat says Jack Smith has started his own small law firm, right? Hence the King card. Isn't that interesting? I said he's now as a spokesman and then he becomes a king. So thanks for that info. So he started his own law firm. Oh, look at that. At the bottom of the deck. Empress. It will be successful. It will be successful. Someone says here, Someone's saying, I don't give an SHIT when he goes, I'm just trying to focus myself, keeping myself sane. Went through a dark phase this week because of everything what's going on. Feeling better now. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah. Let's see here. Someone says here, we got off lucky with Trump. It could have been much worse. Really? What would have been much worse than Trump? Do you have any idea what this guy is doing? How he's selling out America? Anyway, I don't see. All right, I'm not quite sure I understand that reference. Trump is the most corrupt U.S. president, and actually one of the most corrupt leaders on the face of planet Earth. Naked. Anyway, what's this here? Oh, Patricia says, hi, Hoagie. I have a great friend who is Ogala, who lives in Wounded Knee, is exemplary as a true American. She is always involved in charity work, including dressing the school children. Oh, that's nice to know. Oh, Barry is a blood clot. I see. Oh, that's quite naughty, isn't it? What's this here? Teresa said his sister's last name was Barry. That's what I found out when Googling it. Oh, interesting. And then someone says, Winds of Chingtu says, Barry is the blood clot in the orange shit Gibbons veins that most Americans are rooting for. Shit Gibbons. But isn't it interesting, because Mars does deal with the blood? Yeah, remember I said sudden shocks and surprises, aneurysms, heart attacks, that kind of stuff. Mars also has positive associations as well. Mars is also logic. Mars is also righteous action, being strategic, acting in the right time. The problem solver, I call Mars the problem solver, has a lot as well to do with engineering and stuff like that. But obviously, Trump is not doing those positive energies. Let's do a little read on, pardon me, on July 4th. Oh, and then someone, Phyllis says, Barry is also Barack's nickname. Oh, interesting. All right, so let's do a read on the energies of July 4th, which is almost upon us. And let's see what messages come through. What Spirit got to say to Americans. In fact, let's see what July 4th is going to be like, and then let's see what the message is to Americans. Let's do it like that. And then we'll pull some cards on Dr. and see what's going on with him. But you can see how his popularity is plummeting. I mean, for me, it's still too high. But we're in the, is it low 30s, maybe high 20s now? Remember K2, snip, going across that ascendant. Let's have a look here. Okay. July 4th. What's the message the cards have to say for Americans on July 4th? Let me just get the camera going. July 4th. What's the message? What's the message you want to give to Americans on July 4th? Spirit, what's going on? Oh, wow. Something really big is going to be happening in the next few days. If we look here, so look, it's chaotic, yeah? So if we've just seen, yeah, we've got the Five of Swords here, which is a card of what? Disagreements, chaos, things not working out, people not being sure what to do. I think this is how people are feeling about the July 4th celebrations in general. But as we've just seen, where I shared that clip with Midas Charts, we also see that the fairs in DC have been cancelled. People have been dropping down because of heat exhaustion, all of this kind of stuff. So it's a discombobulated energy. If we look here, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, and here you can see the lady standing in the garden with her falcon and the pentacles behind her. My advice would be, look, stay at home. Just stay in the comforts of own, have your own local parties and all of that kind of stuff. But it'd be like, focus on your own comfort. kind of just like that person was saying. She's saying, you know, I don't give a shit about Trump. I'm just focusing on myself. There is that element there as well. So I think there's that truth there. Find your inner peace. Be with like-minded people, friends and family, yeah, that you want to celebrate with, and maybe just kind of switch off from all the BS on the government. If we're looking here, we see here we've got the Three of Wands. And as you know, this card for me has become the card of the Strait of Hormuz. I think as well, I think in the 250 years that, is that a smudge there? In the 250 years, I think this is a kind of a reflective time for the United States. And I think America is also looking out to the world. I think Americans are asking themselves, what is our relationship to the wider world? What does the world think of us? Yeah. If we look here, unfortunately, look, we get the Tower. Yeah. Sudden shocks and surprises. So there's something in the pipeline. This is the card as well that I also associate with Uranus. So obviously those people that collapsed at the fairs and all of that kind of stuff. But there's more stuff probably in the window of the next 4 to 5 days. And then here we get this card, the Four of Swords, which is a card of retreat, being wounded in battle, a card of reflection and contemplation. So what I'd say is this is about going within. Unfortunately, I do associate this card. For me, this card is more death-like than the death card itself. So there's an element here of retreat, going within. I think especially people are realizing that their ideas of America and what it stands for, I think people are reassessing that. And for some, I think their ideas in terms of what it was has died. In a sense, America is not what it was. That's the sense that I get with that. What people may be taking from this July 4th here, because I'm looking at the energies of the July 4th, and it's like people are anticipating something. People are feeling it. People are feeling the energies. Maybe there's some people that are just like, maybe we should just blow the whole thing up and start again. Maybe that's part of it. And by the way, there's 874 of you here with me right now. So thanks so much for joining me live. Much appreciated. Oh, you see that? What's this? Queen of Cups. Yeah, those Epstein files. Yeah, they're keeping everything secret. Please be sure, of course, to share, like, and subscribe and all that jazz if you've not done so yet. All right, let's read some cards. Let's pull some cards on Duck L'Orange. So let's look at, obviously, the health and the popularity. Let's just see, dial in again, see what's going on with the health. But also as well, let's look at what's going on with his ratings. Because sadly, the birthday of the leader of a nation, even though we know that Trump is an absolute scammer, but the health of the leader also can be indicative of the health of the nation. So let's see here. All right, Dr. Orange health, what's going on? And then we'll look at his political future. Maybe look at the midterms. I think that would be a good time. Take a look at the midterms. Trump's health. Oh, this is interesting. It's in the balance. Yeah, Two of Pentacles, juggling. But he's also juggling the money as well. I think he wants to establish a legacy. He knows he doesn't have much longer to live. Yeah. If we look here, we've got the Sun card. So it's almost like there's going to be some full disclosure coming out, some enlightenment. I mean, we all know he's got dementia and all this, that, and the other. But there's going to be more. There might be more coming out with his health. The Sun card can also literally talk about heat. Yeah, and hot countries. Washington, D.C. is obviously very hot right now. But there's more is going to be disclosed, yeah? If we look here, we see the Judgment card. I think he knows that his judgment is coming. He knows it's upon him. He has to try and pretend, of course, but I think he knows, yeah? But also as well, this is also the judgment as well of the American people. This is everyone waking up and going, wow, we're 250 and look who's in charge, yeah? If we look here, though, look, we do have the Nine of Cups. So this is the smug merchant, yeah, this card of satisfaction. He's, of course, become a multi-billionaire. And I was just seeing the other day that 1.4 billion of that is from crypto. Yeah, so he's feeling like, oh, well, I've got money. I know I'm not going to be here long, but I'm rich now. And then if we look here, we've got the Queen of Wands. This is a card of bringing people together, collaboration. We also have here, we've also got the black cat showing a woman using her intuition. I think this might be more to do with that woman, what they call her, the human printer. The human printer, I can never remember her name. But I think this is her. I don't think it's Melania. I think Melania is just like, she's just like done. She wants to exit stage left. But I think this is, let me just put a clarifier on this. Who is this woman? Is this Trump's human printer? I don't think it's Melania. Let's just see. Let's get the clarification on this. Who is this person? Working on a plan on the scheme. I see. Look, this person is close to him. She's playing a waiting game. Yeah, she's playing a waiting game. She's flattering Trump. She's saying all these things. Oh, I love you so much. Everyone thinks it's inappropriate. Her brother's come out and spoken about it. But she's playing a waiting game because she has a different perspective. Yeah, there's a different perspective that she has. If we look here, we've got the Three of Pentacles. And you can see this is a card of what? Negotiations, plans, communications. So she's a plant. Yeah. I think this woman has been planted to be kind of Trump's sort of like fluffer and flatterer and all of that stuff. But she's working to an agenda and a plan. And she's very shrewd and very cunning. Yeah, very shrewd and very cunning, not to be underestimated. So this woman here, and I think it's they call her the human printer. I think she's got an agenda. Yeah, there's a plan here. She's very shrewd, not to be underestimated. Not sure what her plan is, but it's definitely a plan. Let's just bring some more of you in, and then let's just do a read on Trump's political future. Oh, someone said TB orb flying around while you were laughing about Barry. I guess spirit is on my side. And someone said here should be 0. Yeah, he should have no support, but you know. Gosh. And then Debbie's saying very quiet. Most folks have nothing planned. Yeah, and first of all, everyone's skint anyway. Who wants to waste like money on fireworks now when beef? I saw something the other day. It was like this little bit of like literally a little bit of like beef brisket or whatever. $22. Some cockamamie potato salad thing I also saw online. Some little Charlotte potatoes with some kind of fake looking cheese on it. $16. One video I saw, one person, they had the Green Giant can of asparagus. Yeah, like this big, like that. $8. Oh, come on. Enough already. No one's going to be spending their money on fireworks. I mean, if you can afford it, go for it. But let's just see. Yeah, someone said, yeah, LifeSpark said too high, needs to be 0. Laura says, in this heat, the reflecting pool is now a biohazard. Oh, gosh, yeah, I can imagine. And then Modmock says, I feel big energy coming for us. Yeah, it is big energy. Oh, look, here we are. Oh, this is a good idea. Look at this. Talon, is that Talon? Yeah. Says we are having a private July 4th in our high rise tomorrow. It's just too hot outside in downtown Indianapolis and Indiana. Yeah, I remember that Mars and that Uranus together. So yeah, do your own thing. Of course, I can't tell you what to do, but given the astrology, don't be out in big crowds and all of this stuff. You've seen people been collapsing and all of that stuff already. The state fair's been cancelled anyways, but just do your own thing. Private, friends, family, drinks, your own little thing, some little bit of rah-rah, maybe a few sparklers or something like that if you wanted to save money. But yeah, just the way things are going. Maureen says, as a veteran, I always used to look forward to spending the 4th of July. Until now, I just want to stay home and watch TV. Yeah, Yeah. And then a bit, Sheng is saying, yep, stay home. Absolutely agree. And then Peck is saying way fewer fireworks around this week. Usually sounds like a mini war zone week of July 4th, but this weekend not yet dark. So we see what we hear tonight. Yeah, some people may, you know, if they've got a bit of spare cash, literally, because you're literally burning money, aren't you? You buy the fireworks and you blow it up. So I think a lot of people are just like, not feeling it, not in the mood. Oh, what's this here? Bulkners, I think some crazy right-wing bots in your chat. No one in the right mind is watching this and putting out these stupid comments. Even Margaret stopped mentioning Trump. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, but you've always got one or two nutbags out there everywhere, and it's just life, isn't it? Oh, someone says here. Laura says, I'm doing a watch party on Dr. Joanne Freeman's Historians channel on YouTube. We're watching 1776 and having cocktails and snacks from 5 p.m. ET. Good for you. And then here, Carol says, so angry with Mad King Don Old for ruining 25th, 250th, 4th of July. Can you imagine just so awesome it would have been if President Kamala and VP, exactly, Vice President Waltz. Indeed, but sadly, too many people thought not, isn't it? Even though we all here suspect that it was stolen, but like I said, in my predictions, I said on paper Kamala and Tim Waltz should win, but I said but Trump will treat. And I said he doesn't have to win; it just has to be close. Got his friend Elon in there, and voila, here we are. But yet no one's following the trail. And then Yoingfeld says Obama was the honorary chair of the real celebration that was planned for 10 years. And then Songshare says the Republicans will blame the Dems for the heat wave. Yeah. And then someone says here, Stephen Miller has been seen lurking and swimming through green goo on the reflecting pool. Really? And then Mignon says, yeah, oligarchs are desperate. All right. Oh, what's this? Oh, you're joking. Debbie says, just saw that severe storms are hitting Mount Rushmore, where the president and his new old jet are headed to speak. Fox News had to stop the live broadcast. Ah! Uranus is aviation, by the way. Do you remember I said sudden shocks and surprises? Uranus deals with things in the sky, aviation. Mars, I said, is what? Crashes, sudden shocks and surprises, aneurysms, all that stuff. Oh, we'll have to see if there's a storm there. Oh, dear. Anyway, like I said, not wishing anything, just showing the energy. Yeah. Just saying. Yeah, you need to be careful when you're flying planes in bad weather, particularly when you're near mountains. What's this here? Lilith says, oh my God, little Cape Verde is giving Argentina a warm time. Oh, I'm not sure if I understand that. Could you explain that for me? And then, yeah, someone said they shut down the DC fair, Lulu. Yeah, they did. And then Barbara Wheel says, sending love and light to the USA's day tomorrow. Find your joy, she said. That's a very good point. And then someone says here, when will Trump be at Mount Rushmore? He's always said he wanted his face up there. Yes, he did. Well, let's see. You know, Uranus could give him a little bit of a shock of surprise and a bit of a storm. Who knows? And then someone says, J Cat Lady says, I don't want him to die on July 4th because he had some great presidents that died on July 4th. He's a horrible, horrible president. He's a grifter and stolen money from the Americans. Yes, he has. Let's look at his presidency. Yeah, let's look at what's going to be happening next to Duck L'Orange. We did a read on America. What's going on politically? Yeah, for Duck L'Orange. Oh, what have I done? Oh, there we go. Oops, let's see what's going on. Politically, midterms, all of this kind of stuff. What's going on? Duck L'Orange, politically. Oh, he's contemplating something. Ah, this cunning little... Anyway. Politically, yeah. Page of Cups, which you guys know, let me just get the camera focused, which you guys know I refer to as Stinky Fish. He's not liking the news that's coming, yeah. Not doing well in the polls. The fair is being cancelled. He's had a lot of critique. The reflecting pool, you see, this is also to do with water. The reflecting pool, it's just been not great news. He also got bad news as well from SCOTUS. They gave him one or two things, but also gave him a lot of slaps. So he's not been having the best news at the moment. Also, E. Jean Carroll, he has to pay her the money, all of this stuff. So he's not feeling so great. Look here, Trump is feeling beleaguered and battled. He's holding on. This is a card of determination. But I think this is him fighting for his health. It's all just getting a bit much. I think he's getting tired. He's feeling war-torn and just like, oh, I don't think I can be bothered with this. Yeah. However, he's trying to make himself as financially secure as he can. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles literally can talk about financial security. It also talks about family. So he's enriching himself and his family while he still has the time. If we look here, he's coordinating and collaborating with people. And again, in the politics. So this is him and the billionaires, you know, probably trying to figure out what they can do about the midterms and all that stuff. Yeah, because he keeps having the bad news. He also saw as well that Obama is way more popular than him, and in fact the most popular president, it seems, by the public vote. So he's seen this bad news and he's scheming and planning, as they're always doing. But Dr. Orange is not liking the options on the table. Yeah, not liking the options on the table. But there's something left field here, so let's just get a clarifier of that. What's the options that he doesn't like? So he's basically scheming politically, but trying to find out what viable option he has. Yeah, it's the Judgment. Yeah, all right. So if we look here, yeah, it's the Judgment. Yeah, everyone's passing judgment. The Magatonians, everyone is like, this is just BS. We can't afford shit. Like, can you just sort it out? You know, this is enough already. They're also judging his presidency. We again look, how many times do I get this card where Trump is contemplating maybe where to stay in the world? Also as well, this can also be talking about Strait of Hormuz energy, but this is also the insider trading, the scheming, and his visions for manipulations of the world. And then here we got the Ace of Clubs, which is about initiating a new project, fertile new beginnings. This, though, can also be, the shadow of this card can also be violence and stuff. So I think what he's going to try and do is potentially start a war somewhere else as a distraction, or maybe some kind of crackdown or something like that, because he's deeply unpopular. Yeah, he's had all of this unpleasant news, stinky fish and all that stuff. Whether or not he'll succeed or not, I'm not sure. Let's see if he can get through that storm. Yeah. So if there's a storm on Mount Rushmore, let's see if he can land in one piece. And then if there's a massive storm, maybe the speech might have to be cancelled. Again, sudden shocks and surprises, unexpected events, we will have to see. But putting all that aside, I wish everyone, yeah, particularly my viewers in the States, I wish all of you a happy 250th. Yeah, it's an important landmark. Maybe the times aren't so great right now because you've got Duck L'Orange and all the cray-cray, but have your own party. Do your own thing. Stay away from the crowds, yeah? The energy is not right. It's too hot. People collapsing. Now we're going to potentially have a storm at Mount Rushmore. Sudden shocks and surprises, heart attacks, strokes, accidents, you know, car crashes, firearms, you know, all of these, anger, heat, yeah? All of this stuff going on. And it is exact today, as you could see, tomorrow and the day after, but basically call it this week. But let's say 4 or 5 days, they're really close together from now. So we'll have to see what happens. I will leave it there, folks. Thanks so much. I think it was pretty much 900 of you joining me live this evening. So much appreciated. I will leave it there. Have a wonderful weekend. Have your own party. Have a drink on me. Have some ice cream. Watch something cool on the TV and just block it all out. Just let it all roll over and let it pass. But big love, everyone. And I will see you probably on Monday, isn't it? For my Monday Madness. And by the way, I'll be having Libby back on. Yeah. watch out 27th of July. Obviously, keep watching me up until that point. Anyway, bye-bye, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and happy July 4th. Mwah! Bye-bye. See you soon.